Hi, I'm Liz Fulcher, and it's time for another Terminology Tuesday. Today's word is galactagogue. There's a mouthful, galactagogue. And I want to thank Matthew Sulpizi for the word today. Matthew is a young man who lives in Australia. He's a practicing aromatherapist and asks a lot of really great questions in the community. And yesterday he asked me about an essential oil and its galactagogue properties. And I was very impressed, not only that he knew the word, but also knew the word as a young man. Because galactagogue is anything that refers to the letdown, the promotion, the formation of breast milk. And this is a really important word to know as an aromatherapist, as a practicing aromatherapist who are working with people. So there are essential oils. There are also herbs, tinctures, plants, foods, which will increase breast milk and help promote lactation. And there are others which will stop it. So if you have a client or a friend, even someone that you are working with as a professional practicing aromatherapist, it's really important to understand which essential oils have galactagogue properties. Partly because it could be very helpful to her in situations I'll tell you about in a second, but also if a woman is nursing and wanting to wean the baby, then you want a different type of essential oil, a different property, which I won't say right now because I don't want to confuse things. Galactagogue is when we want more breast milk. It helps the milk flow through the milk ducts in the breast. Now, I have two real-life examples of when a galactagogue was helpful. One was when my sons were born. My children were both born in Italy. The Italians love fennel. Fennel is one of the plants that produces seeds that have galactagogue properties. In fact, all the essential oils, I think off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure every one of them that has galactagogue properties come from seeds. I'll tell you my story in a second, because now I have to say the oils. Anise, fennel, aniseed, coriander. Gotta look at my list. What was the other one? Oh, dill, coriander. There's one more. Oh, caraway. They're all seeds. So all of these plants, and therefore hydrosols, essential oils, herbs, will have these galactagogue properties, some stronger than others. Fennel happens to be very powerful as an emmenagogue. The Italians love fennel. They put it in a lot of their food. And when both of my sons were born in Rome hospitals, all the women in the baby section, women who had had babies, were given fennel tea to drink to help with the letdown, to help promote and support the formation of breast milk. And boy, does it work. It really is very effective. And the second way in which I used fennel specifically for the galactagogue properties was when I had a case of mastitis, which is when it's very common actually in breastfeeding women that one of the milk ducts, for one reason or another, gets blocked. So you have a tube with liquid flowing through it, and then there's a block. And what happens when you have a tube with a block? The liquid builds up, and there's engorgement and pressure and inflammation, and it hurts, and you can also get infected. So what I did when I had mastitis, I drank a lot of fennel tea, and I gave myself a warm compress with fennel tea on where the duct was blocked, and it was very, very effective. If it continues, a woman will need to take antibiotics to avoid infection or to get rid of the infection. So a galactagogue can be super helpful, especially in the form of a tea. You could take fennel essential oil and use that for the, apparently it was on my left breast because I keep putting my hand there. But I want to be really mindful and careful to impart that I don't want you taking any essential oils by mouth for the galactagogue properties. They're all to be used topically. Now you can drink fennel hydrosol, which would be fabulous as a galactagogue. You can warm a little fennel hydrosol and drink that. make fennel tea and drink that. But for something like a mastitis, that's a good time to use fennel essential oil in a warm compress. I happen to use tea because it was with my first child, and I learned about aromatherapy from when my second son was born. So that was a long explanation, but the word today is galactagogue, anything which helps stimulate and promote the formation and flow of breast milk. Hope that was helpful.